So when are you going to tackle this?
Well, why don't we
start with do you like it? Or?
Let's just try it out. I think it'll be fine, yeah.
I don't know.
I have some opinions about it. I have some, maybe that goes in the bloopers at the end of the video. I have some opinions about it. I have my thoughts on witches. It's all silent. Okay, ready? All right. Hey everybody, welcome to Holy Chat.
Holy Chat.
I'm Levi Dugan and this is...
Carlos Ramirez.
Is it?
Yes.
Still, in the flesh.
Semi.
Welcome, Carlos.
Thank you.
So today we're going to be posting this in October.
Yes.
In the time of Halloween. Ooh. And so
Spooky
we thought, I thought I would ask you an important question.
Ask away.
Do you believe in witches?
Well, Harry Potter counts. Hermione Granger.
Yeah. I mean, if you've met my first wife, like, I'm just kidding. That's just a good joke. It's low-hanging fruit. I'm just joking, kind of. So,
okay.
So do you believe in witches? Are witches real?
The witch is real.
Because like a lot of people are going to dress like witches next month.
I know. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know necessarily I believe in witches per se, but definitely there is a whole, I mean, now we're Halloween and spooky time, and I think we want to talk about or using the witches theme for kind of propelling our a little bit of a conversation about things. So back in what would that would be in the 1600s, right?
Where the witches came from.
When the witches came from.
Yeah.
And actually, this is the funny thing is that so that the Salem witch trials, it is one of the last things or the last witch hunts that happened in history.
It is 400 years ago.
It is very late.
Witch hunt.
Well, I mean, it is very late.
Literal witch hunt.
Literal witch hunt.
Yeah.
Literal witch hunt.
Wow.
So it started in the 1400s, 1500s. Everybody thinks that the witches are medieval. There was no such thing as that in the medieval time.
Yeah.
So it is more in the Enlightenment time. And funny enough. Anyway, so here in the States, or what the colonies, let's call it the colonies. So the people who come to the colonies are, as you will know, your history. They
the
are
Pilgrims.
The Pilgrims. They're
people that have very high fashion sense.
Yes. Yes, the
buckles.
Yes.
Buckles on everything. On the hat, on the shoes,
everywhere.
on the belt.
Yeah.
All buckles.
It's a fashion choice, isn't it?
Is it though? Or was it more of like chastity? Everything's got a buckle on. No looky, no touchy, right? Is that what it is?
Looky, no touchy. Yeah. I like it.
Wait, they're not pilgrims though. They're what?
Puritans.
Pilgrims are Puritans.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So this is.
Wait, you were going to say something about a hat, and you didn't say it.
Why? What do you have to be chastised or chastity about your head? Chaste about your head.
Look, in those days, anything could be a temptation. Like an ankle was a temptation, so everything had to be completely buckled and covered, right?
Well,
yeah. Speaking of Puritans, implying that they were pure.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, so in England, there is this group, the Puritans, who want to kick everything out that smells Roman Catholic from the Anglican Church, the Church of England, and they are persecuted by Roman Catholics and by eventually the Church of England. They don't like him, and they are persecuted, harassed, and in many cases killed. So many of them go to the Netherlands first, and then they jump into the Mayflower and come to the colonies and began their thing. And they wanted to plant all of their ideas here in the States. So this all goes on, and there is in this little town of Salem that there is most likely a slave or a servant that it is not well specified. I don't know how you pronounce Tituba, whatever the name is.
Tituba or something like that. Yeah.
And it is, from South America somewhere. And they start to talk about, with other servants, to these little girls, white little girls, that about, kind of mysticism and maybe Santeria or kind of, those kinds of things. So it's just very common in South America.
Enough of religion in our schools, right?
Yes, yes.
How dare you, Tituba?
So they start
Enough.
talking
Ryan
about
Walters will come for you.
it's coming.
One thing we can all agree on.
Yes.
Okay.
So, these girls, these two girls, they start to have like these episodes of convulsions and like speaking weird things, and like you will kind of identify it as possessed, right? And they meaning the people in town, and particularly a male clergy person, says, well, that is the devil, and it is these people, these women who were talking with these girls, and they are polluting and contaminating these girls and eventually our community.
Wow.
So they go after these women. There's many, and some men, but particularly women, and needless to say, they were executed and killed.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, it's executed and killed.
So it sounds like Puritans are just these superstitious people that just don't believe in science or don't follow any kind of rationality.
Well, oddly enough, that you say that, Puritans not necessarily were, scared or against science. Actually, they were looking into many scientific things that were happening at the time, because in the 1600s, 1700s, this is the time of the Enlightenment. So there was all these discoveries happening. So they were really keen because they want to. The more they know about the world, it is more they know about God, right? And they are not.
They think science actually supports their belief in God.
Yeah. So they is not like a very science is going to prove God wrong. They are embracing it. So I think that to me, the point of all of this is the narrative, right? The Puritans, through the channel of these clergymen, identify these women, strong women who are different from them, literally from any other socioeconomic strata, but also from another color skin and other customs, that identified as dangerous, that they do not fit into these ideal of women or ideal for their community. So they identify as agents of chaos, which is not unusual, because then also Native Americans are identified as agents of chaos, agents of against civilization, therefore agents of the devil, and therefore also women who are in this type of, as I said, strong women who exert their leadership, they are also seen as a threat. So the narrative is, so therefore they have to be witches, they have to be something unnatural. Yeah. And therefore agents of chaos, therefore agents of the devil, we need to get rid of them.
So I know that, from the Hebrew Bible, there's this idea in the beginning of time that everything is chaos and God puts order to things. So that kind of fits in with the Puritan view of science is order and God is order, and anything that's not orderly in their minds is evil or of the devil.
Right. And
the question then becomes, were these people really agents of chaos or just different than what the Puritans were comfortable with?
Right. I mean, I think that we will never know. I don't think that we will never know for sure.
But we knew that like native cultures had an organized system of culture and belief and governance, so they weren't chaotic.
No.
But compared to the puritanical worldview, it was different and uncomfortable.
Right. So yes. So we will know, as I said, like Tituba, whatever. I don't know. Again, I don't know how to pronounce it. But if she's from the south, and so there is all these, ancient culture mixed with Roman Catholicism or Christianity, all syncretized. Yeah. So it is a weird thing that, would I say it is Christian? Many people would say yes. I'm just following what my understanding of what God wants from me. So is it chaotic? Well, I mean, it depends on who you ask, and it depends on where you come from. Is it pure Christianity? Well, again, what is pure
What
Christianity?
is there pure
So
Christianity?
exactly. So
Yeah.
so again, yes. So the narrative to me, it is what drives the whole thing. So therefore, people who would have no power, and people who are different from the norm. And again, this is the thing. Another thing. The default, therefore, is white Puritan, these colonists. That they are male, that they are in charge, and that they drive this narrative that they should be. The reason that this is happening is because they're witches, and therefore needs to be get rid of them. And as I said, therefore, these other people
Yeah.
are also agents of chaos, and what they know, their systematic way of knowing, the Native Americans, which have their own set of rules and the set of beliefs and religious experience, was wrong.
Yeah. in their
Therefore,
eyes,
it's
yeah.
chaotic. Therefore, it is demonic.
Yeah, because I think if we look back at the Puritans from like a modern perspective, it's easy for us to think, well, they knew there were no witches. They were just making it up so they could be in charge. I'm not so sure.
No.
I think they probably, maybe not every single person, but many people probably really did believe there
Yes.
were
Yes.
witches and agents of evil and
Yes.
chaos.
Yes.
Now, is it a coincidence that often those people labeled agents of chaos were black, brown, or female?
Yes.
That would be, at a minimum, what we call implicit bias, right? Like, there's clearly something embedded in them that the other must
Yes.
be evil and I
Yes.
must be good, right?
Yes.
But is that conscious or subconscious? That's kind of the big unknown, I think. In some
right.
ways.
I do like you. I think that truly believed that they believed that they believe in this cosmovision, the understanding of the world, that there's something mystical, and that there's this power, there's a struggle of good and evil,
Yeah.
and they see themselves aligned with good and brown, black women.
Female, yeah.
Other,
Other, yeah.
it's chaotic. It is
Yeah.
it is to be get rid of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they take that very literally. Get rid of it, like
Very
Kill it.
literally. Very
Kill it.
literally. Burn the witches.
yeah, burn the witches.
Why is burning the solution, by the way? Like, with all the panoply of violence you can do
I
to
know.
someone, why do they burn them?
Well, this is the other thing. Usually, witches are not burned.
Oh.
Heretics are burned.
Oh.
So witches. So this is the difference between. Anyway, between all these things about killing is killing, right? But if you want to get into
I'm
the
just curious.
into the nitty gritty.
So you're teaching me something about
So
burning.
yeah. So the heretics were burned
Yeah.
so that there is no relics, so that people can go and worship or people can go and visit. So they are get rid of
Just
them.
destroy all
Destroy
of it.
completely.
Okay.
So they burn heretics, and they kill, hang, drown
Oh.
witches
Okay.
because they just need to get rid of them.
Okay.
But they are not burn them. But usually
Yeah.
they're not.
There's a good book I would recommend to adult people. Called I don't remember the name of the author, but it's called The Dance Tree.
Huh.
It's the same author who wrote The Mercies, which is about witches in Sweden
Okay.
500 years ago. It's kind of a story, not about witches, but about people who say people are witches.
Ah.
And she wrote this other book called The Dance Tree, which is about women living in Germany around the time of the Reformation and just how hard it was to live in that time. And those are two really good books, but they do talk in those books about women who've been overcome with some mystical power and drowning them. So I guess she did her research there that they're drowning, not burning, and I didn't know that. So you learned something here, folks. They don't burn witches; they drown them.
Drown them. Yes.
Great.
So I think it's.
Because certainly a witch
Well, if I remember correctly.
could not overcome.
No, if I remember correctly, they put stuff for them,
Yeah.
then they throw them,
Yeah.
and if you float, you're a witch.
Oh, like Monty Python. I got it now. Okay. What else floats?
Yeah, what is float?
A duck. Okay. Now, but the truth is, even though we laugh, I mean, these were real people who were really
Yes.
harmed
Yes.
by this approach.
Yes.
So, okay, so you're saying that there was patriarchy and there was misogyny and there were gender role issues and there was fear of the mystical and all this stuff, but that the root issue was trying to control the chaos which they perceived as evil.
Correct.
Now, how does that translate and inform us today. Like if we're going to live in the world today and learn from the past and try to understand the relationship between science and God and control and our biases and all those things, like how does that compare to where we are now?
Well, I think that we are seeing will seem like in our today present that maybe a similar thing is happening in the sense of that maybe we're dismissing science, right? That science does not inform anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're seeing a huge backsliding in the use of vaccines right, in the United States. So,
the whole climate change thing that we know it is, it's just scientifically
we can literally measure it. But a lot of people say it's not real.
Right. I mean, there's so many things that we know science is telling us that, well, this is truth. As I said, the vaccinations have saved millions of lives. If we do know something about our emissions, it's going to be very hard to bring back, or it's going to be another type of world that we're going to be living in.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So we think that we are not listening to science anymore. But the reality is that many studies that we researched because we do our homework.
You do.
Is that
I'm here for comic relief, really.
So 75% of adults say that science has made life easier. 54% of adults in the USA, all these studies in the USA, scientific achievements either make the world better. All this to say is that as a general rule, we all think the science have contributed to the well-being of society as a general rule.
So the polling is suggesting that the vast majority of Americans do believe in science.
Right.
Okay.
And that they are not necessarily even against it. They are not. So why then seemingly this anti-science movement seems to be big? So there is this professor from Harvard, Renskis, he says that what the problem is, or what the thing is that people who trust science as a whole may reject science on specific topics, such as climate change or any other thing, and because they call it selectivity, or let me read this so I can tell you exactly, implicatory denial, which is that they reject these areas of science is not because the science is too uncertain or is wrong or inadequate, but because simply it is just opposes to their belief system. Right? Or I could even add maybe in a conversation with the professor is maybe even their political sometimes views that they are not saying necessarily climate change is not real. It is I don't politically it's not what I think it is to be, or just my own belief system is that does not compute, so therefore I reject it. I'm not saying that all the facts are wrong. You're just saying, no, that's not going to work with me. It could be because somebody works in the oil field with that, or because whatever reason, really. Reason. It's just we select those parts, or according to this professor, is because there's not, they just clash with our own emotions, with our own belief system, if you will.
Well, one of the quotes you have from her says, the whole notion that we need to set aside our emotions and just look at the facts flies in the face of evidence. Nobody does that. It goes back to the Puritans that Puritan leaders, educated Puritans, did believe in science, but they didn't just have pure reason. They also had their emotions and their implicit beliefs that informed that science, so that sometimes science could either be ignored or framed in such a way that witches could be real.
Right.
And in the same way today, we have a tendency to, well, let's just be honest, we still have witches, don't we?
Yes.
We believe in witches, just not literal witches.
Right.
We believe that there's always a group of people somewhere that we're going to blame
an agent of
for
chaos.
our problems, an agent of chaos. That the reason that there's so much illness is not because we stopped vaccinating, but because those people over there are causing it,
Yes.
like the Chinese with
Right.
COVID, or
Right.
the reason that there aren't enough good jobs is because those people over there are taking them from us,
Mhm.
even though statistically and scientifically you can show it's not accurate,
Right.
but that your informed belief system is telling you that, and the
Correct.
narrative
The narrative.
that's given to you
Mhm.
by media, by politicians,
Mhm.
is reinforcing
Yes.
that belief system,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
So again, with I mean, the census. Just real quick, the census showed that the population in the USA, it is getting old, and we know that. I mean, there's going to be they call it the, what is it, the retirement tsunami, right? That is going to come, and it's actually coming. And the
Mhm.
reason that we have so much trouble with Social Security is because we have more people retiring than people
Boomers.
getting, yeah, they're getting,
It's
getting
your
into,
fault, boomers.
they're getting to get in a
I
job.
guess
So
we
that
should
is,
really blame their parents for this, because
well, yeah, I
it's
guess.
really their fault.
Well, I mean, that's the other part of science. We are living longer, so
Yeah.
therefore, before it's you get retired and then you live a little longer, and you die. But then we
Yeah.
have these higher standards of living, and so all this to say is that the population in the USA is getting old,
Mm.
and the census in 2020 said really the growth of the country is going to be through immigration and non-white. So that, I think, that scandalized a faction in our country,
Mhm.
and therefore, what is the agent of chaos? What is this creating all this craziness?
Mhm.
Well, just put,
Put in your favorite adjective or noun, like those immigrants, those woke people, whatever. Fill in the blank, right?
Fill the blank.
LGBTQ people, trans
Right.
people, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to be somebody that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it is, you can almost make a parallel. So with the witch hunts, and with now the literal witch hunts, and now in the people who we blame for whatever illness is happening, whatever problem we have, is they are contaminating or bringing chaos into our civilization or into our culture.
Mhm.
Both sides.
Mhm.
They are going to contaminate or corrupt. Probably that's the word. Corrupt our children.
Mhm. This is all sounding eerily familiar, so
Right.
you're really creeping me out right now.
They are going to destabilize who we are,
Mhm.
and therefore, just break the fabric of exactly who we are. So therefore, we need to get rid of them.
So you're telling me that if we had a society that was white, European, male-dominated, upper middle class, educated, that we wouldn't have witches anymore.
Well, there will be.
But wait, we tried that already
That's right.
in 1600s, and we had witches. I'm feeling like that's not the solution.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. That there will be other type of witches. There will be.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be messing up the whole thing.
So this whole idea that we can return back to something that
Right.
probably never existed in
No,
the
it
first
never
place,
existed in the first
but
place,
if
yeah.
we returned back to that ideal, there were still witches.
We're gonna
we're gonna
find them.
some because there's always going to be suffering in the world,
Always.
and there will be a group of people who find benefit in blaming others for that suffering.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that bottom line, what I think that these two distant in time and space and time.
Yeah.
It is, to me, it is the two things that are constant to me. Is the narrative that drives into this, and that ultimately wants control over a population, and the narrative. Who is good? Who is bad? Who's in? Who's out? Who's on the good side, and who's in the side of civilization,
Mhm.
and who is on the side of chaos,
Mhm.
an agent of chaos, and therefore agents of the devil, and who is, and then who gets to decide what.
Mhm.
So I think in both cases we see that, and we are seeing that even till today.
So in a way, if we could leave you with a particular thought
Yes.
this Halloween season, it's that you should be on the lookout for witches.
Yes.
However, you're on the lookout for them not because they're real, but because they're not real. And it's important to look out for when a politician, a leader, a clergy person is telling you someone's a witch. When they're telling you this is all their fault, or they're the problem, or they're the chaos, that it's probably inaccurate to reality. And you should at least take one step back and ponder
Yes.
whether it's possible that witches don't exist.
Right. Yes. Yes. Maybe the problem it is not as simple as blaming a group of persons, a group of people,
Yeah.
but it is a way more complex thing.
It seems to me more violence has been created by blaming groups than by just shutting up and getting along with each other. You know?
That was easy.
There you go.
Well, I think that was good.
We solved the world's problems.
See you
Witches
later.
are real.
Yeah.
Except they're not. All right. See you next time.
Peace.